screens, which will highlight the fragility. We can provide new insights into the nature of self.
Gentlemen.
Wick is here. And you with me.
Well, within this segment, which will highlight the prejudice, we can provide new insights into the nature of self.
Mio Dio, Joe. Human? No, Joe. Killing me won't stop the Clash Wars. I think you're a...
Reflections of the soul at
It's okay.
has been one.
Hey guys, today we're diving back into the bullet-riddled, impeccably tailored world of John Wick, specifically Chapter 2. After the events of the first film, you'd think John might finally get a break. Maybe a nice quiet retirement with his new dog, but oh no, the universe, or rather the criminal underworld, had other plans. We pick up immediately where we left off, with John still trying to reclaim his stolen car, a gorgeous 1969 Mustang that's seen better days, like before it was stolen and used as a bumper car. If you had a good time with this, a like and a subscribe is a free way to help me keep making more.
Options.
Jonathan, listen to me. Jonathan, just walk away. What have you done?
How was he? What am I looking at? High table.
You killed a man on company ground. The doors to any service or provider. Not to be.
Tell them, whoever it is.
Jonathan?
So, John, ever the efficient problem solver, decides the best way to get his car back is to just walk into the chop shop and take it. And by take it, I mean systematically dismantle every gangster unfortunate enough to be working late. The sounds in this place are fantastic. The metallic clang of wrenches hitting skulls, the muffled thud of bodies hitting concrete, and the constant echo of silenced gunshots. He's a whirlwind of calculated violence, moving with a weary grace that speaks volumes about his past. This isn't just a fight, it's an extermination. He's not angry, just inconvenienced, which frankly makes him even more terrifying. You know it's bad when you're facing down a guy who just wants his car back, and he's willing to rearrange your face to prove it. After clearing out the small army of goons, John finds Abram Tarasov, the current owner of his Mustang, and, ironically, Iosef's uncle. Abram is exactly the kind of guy who thinks he's a big shot, surrounded by bodyguards, sipping tea, trying to project an aura of calm until John Wick walks in. The tension in the room is thick enough to cut with a butter knife, but Abram, surprisingly, knows when he's beaten. No theatrical speeches, no grand declarations of war, just a pragmatic understanding that John Wick is, well, John Wick. They have a brief, almost civil conversation, which mainly consists of John making it clear he just wants his car back, and Abram realizing that trying to stop him would be significantly more expensive than just letting him have it. John finally gets his baby back, but baby is a generous term for the bullet-riddled, dented wreck that it is. He takes it straight to Aurelio, the master mechanic who greets the car with a mournful shake of his head. Aurelio, a man who clearly has seen it all, takes one look at the carnage and simply says, "Welcome home, John." The damage is extensive, a testament to the chaotic night John just had. It's a bittersweet moment. He has his car, but the physical and emotional toll is evident. He's just trying to tie up loose ends, hoping for some semblance of peace. Even if that peace is just seeing his car in one piece, eventually. Back home, John's ritual begins. He descends into his basement, a somber, almost sacred space. He retrieves his arsenal, the guns, the knives, the tactical gear, the gold coins, all the tools of his deadly trade. He cleans them with an almost religious reverence, not out of affection, but out of respect for the power they represent. Then, one by one, he places them into a custom-built vault beneath his concrete floor, cementing them in place. The sounds are hushed, deliberate, the clink of metal, the scrape of the trowel. His new dog watches patiently, a silent witness to John's desperate attempt to bury his past, to finally become just a man with a dog, living in peace. It's a powerful visual, the weight of his past literally being sealed away. Just as John finishes his concrete therapy session, the doorbell rings. Talk about terrible timing. Standing on his doorstep is Santino D'Antonio, a slick, impeccably dressed Italian crime lord, looking like he just stepped off a fashion runway in Milan. Santino isn't there for a friendly chat or to admire John's home decor. He's there to collect on a marker, a blood oath John made years ago, promising a favor in exchange for Santino's help in an impossible task, one that allowed John to retire in the first place. The sight of that small, round metal object is enough to drain the color from John's face. It's the ultimate I owe you, a sacred, unbreakable bond in this underworld. John, being John, tries to refuse. He's out, he says. He's retired. He even tries to argue that a marker is for life, and he gave Santino his life to get out. Santino, however, doesn't care for semantics. A marker is a marker. Refusing to honor it is an insult of the highest order in their world. When John firmly shuts the door in his face, Santino doesn't just walk away. Oh no, that would be too polite. He pulls out a grenade launcher. Yes, a grenade launcher, and proceeds to blow John's beautifully minimalist home to smithereens. The explosion is deafening, the fire rapid and destructive. It's a brutal reminder that, in this world, retirement is a suggestion, not a right, and debts always come due, often with extreme prejudice. With his house reduced to a smoldering ruin, John and his dog retreat to the sanctuary of the Continental Hotel. Winston, the enigmatic manager, greets him with his usual calm, collected demeanor, almost as if he expected this whole debacle. John explains the situation, clearly hoping for some loophole, some way out. But Winston, ever the stoic enforcer of the rules, lays it out clearly. A marker is a blood oath. To break it is to break every fundamental rule of their society. The consequences are dire, beyond excommunication. It's a death sentence, a target on your back from every assassin on the planet. The clink of ice in Winston's glass feels almost as heavy as the weight of John's predicament. There is no escaping a marker. It's a sacred bond, more powerful than any weapon. Defeated, and with no other choice, John goes back to Santino. The air between them is thick with unspoken animosity, but John is a man of his word, even when that word is a literal death sentence. He returns the marker, acknowledging the debt. Santino, with a smug grin, reveals his target. His own sister, Gianna D'Antonio, a high-ranking member of the High Table. This isn't just a simple hit. It's a power play, a move to claim Gianna's seat on the High Table. John, a professional to his core, simply asks, "What do you need?" The clang of the returning marker is the sound of John Wick being pulled back into the life he desperately tried to leave behind. And he knows this job is going to be messy, even by his standards. Preparation is key, and John is the master of it. First stop, the Continental's tailor, a meticulous artist named Luca, who measures John for a new tactical suit. Because you can't assassinate a High Table member in last season's blood-stained threads, darling. The rustle of the fabric, the snip of the scissors, it's all part of the deadly ballet. Next, the sommelier, who offers John a devastating menu of firearms like a connoisseur discussing fine wines. Glock 34, 1911 Combat Master, AR-15. Each option delivered with sophisticated flair. John's choices are precise, tailored for maximum efficiency and brutality. Finally, the Continental's gunsmith, who supplies John with a custom selection of high-caliber firepower. The metallic click of magazines loading, the smooth action of a slide. These are the sounds of John Wick returning to form, a deadly symphony of impending chaos. He's not just getting weapons, he's becoming the weapon. John jets off to Rome, a city of ancient beauty and, as it turns out, a thriving underworld. The shift in scenery is stark, from the concrete jungle of New York to the historic cobblestones of Rome, but the rules of the game remain the same. Every shadow seems to hold a potential threat, every street corner a watchful eye. He moves through the bustling crowds with a quiet intensity, a predator in a tourist trap. The clang of old bells, the murmur of foreign languages, it all provides a dramatic backdrop to his mission. He knows Gianna will be well protected, and the local Continental will be a nexus of information and danger. This isn't a vacation, it's a business trip, and the business is death. John infiltrates Gianna's opulent estate, a fortress of wealth and power. Gianna is a formidable figure herself, holding her own in the male-dominated world of the High Table. She is preparing for some grand event, surrounded by an impressive entourage of well-armed guards, each one a potential obstacle. The rustle of expensive fabrics, the distant hum of a party, all mask the silent, deadly presence of John Wick. He moves through the shadows with a ghostly efficiency, a master of stealth, bypassing security systems that would stop lesser assassins dead in their tracks. He watches her, not with malice, but with a professional detachment, understanding the grim necessity of his task. It's nothing personal, just business, but the kind of business that leaves a permanent mark. John finally cornering Gianna in her bath. But Gianna, ever the queen, isn't going to just let John kill her. She's a boss, a true High Table member. She knows her brother sent John, and she won't give him the satisfaction. In a poignant, almost defiant act, she performs a ritualistic farewell, choosing to end her own life with a razor rather than be a mere victim. The silence in the room is heavy, broken only by the soft splash of water and the metallic glint of the blade. John watches, a silent, grim witness. He then delivers the coup de grace, a mercy shot, ensuring her death is quick and clean, as a professional should. The crack of the shot echoes, sealing her fate and marking the end of John's grim obligation. It's a surprisingly dramatic and personal moment for a John Wick movie, highlighting the complex, tragic nature of their world. No sooner has John completed his mission than Gianna's chief bodyguard Cassian, a formidable assassin in his own right, comes looking for payback. The chase through the ancient, claustrophobic catacombs is a masterclass in tension, the echoes of their footsteps and the scrape of their knives amplifying the danger. Their fight erupts into a bustling Roman subway station, a chaotic scene of innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire, or rather, narrowly avoiding it. The whoosh of passing trains, the frantic screams of commuters, and the crack of punches make for a visceral symphony of violence. John and Cassian are perfectly matched, a brutal dance of death, each move precise, each blow powerful. It's an incredibly choreographed sequence where every punch landed and every gun fired feels raw and impactful. It makes you wonder how many people just missed their train because two assassins decided to settle a dispute in the middle of rush hour. The fight between John and Cassian continues unabated, spilling into a moving train car. The confined space makes their already intense combat even more suffocating. It's a tight, brutal dance, full of close-quarters grappling and bone-jarring impacts. The rhythmic rumble of the train, the slight sway, it all adds to the disorientation and danger. They use every available surface, every seat, every pole, as part of their deadly choreography. It's not elegant. It's desperate and primal. Two highly skilled killers pushing each other to their limits. The metallic clang of their bodies hitting the train walls and the sharp exhales of effort underscore the sheer physical toll of their confrontation. They're both too good, too evenly matched, for a quick resolution. It's a deadlock of pure, unadulterated violence. Miraculously, or perhaps inevitably, both John and Cassian end up at the Rome Continental, barely alive. The hotel's sacred rules apply. No business on Continental grounds. So these two men who were just trying to dismember each other are forced to sit at the bar, tending to their wounds, sharing a drink. It's a bizarre, almost comical scene. Two sworn enemies sitting in uneasy truce, the air crackling with unspent rage. The clinking of glasses and the hushed tones of the bar staff create an absurdly civilized contrast to their recent barbaric brawl. They exchange a grudging respect, acknowledging each other's formidable skills, and a silent promise that their fight isn't over, just on pause. It's the ultimate "we'll finish this later" moment, but with more blood and less talking. John returns to New York, thinking he's finally done, finally free. But Santino, a snake in a fancy suit, isn't one to leave loose ends. Having secured his sister's high table seat, he immediately places a $7 million bounty on John Wick's head. The news spreads like wildfire through the underworld's communication network. Burner phones ringing, cryptic texts buzzing, all announcing the new target, John Wick. The cacophony of incoming notifications on various screens and phones throughout the city is a chilling sound. Suddenly, every assassin, every petty thug, every ambitious killer sees John as a walking lottery ticket. The metallic ping of a new contract being placed is the sound of John Wick's world collapsing around him again. He's gone from a boogeyman to the world's most wanted man, all because he tried to honor a debt. As John walks through the city, he starts seeing them, the shadowy figures, the knowing glances. He's a pariah, a target. Then he encounters Ares, Santino's mute, fiercely loyal chief bodyguard, along with her entourage. Their exchange is entirely nonverbal, a ballet of menacing gestures and intense stares, communicating more than words ever could. The rustle of their dark clothing, the subtle shift in their posture, it all screams danger. Ares, communicating through sign language, delivers a chilling message of impending doom. It's clear she's not just a bodyguard. She's a rival, a formidable foe who embodies Santino's malice. The city's ambient noise suddenly feels oppressive. Every siren, every honk, a reminder of the growing threat closing in on John. With the entire underworld after him, John needs leverage. He seeks out the Bowery King, a flamboyant and enigmatic crime lord who commands a vast network of informants, seemingly homeless, but actually highly organized. The King's lair is a strange underground realm, a stark contrast to the opulence of the high table. The chatter of radios, the scrape of boots on dirty floors, all contribute to this gritty, secretive atmosphere. John makes his plea, and the King, after a theatrical monologue, agrees to help, providing John with a discreet arsenal of weapons and crucial intelligence. He's essentially the underworld's IT guy, but with more pigeons and significantly deadlier gadgets. The King is a master of the double cross, but for now he's John's best bet, offering a brief respite from the relentless hunt. John briefly revisits the ruins of his home, a poignant scene amidst the chaos. He sifts through the charred remnants, a quiet desperation in his movements. He finds a few salvaged photographs of Helen, a painful reminder of the life he lost and the peace he craves. The silence of the destroyed house, broken only by the creak of embers and the occasional drip of water, is profound. His dog sits patiently beside him, a silent sentinel. It's a moment of profound vulnerability for John, a rare glimpse beneath the hardened exterior. The tactile feel of the crumpled photos in his hands, the faded images of a happier time, ground him even as the world conspires against him. It's a fleeting moment of humanity before he's plunged back into the abyss of violence. The moment of peace is shattered by the sound of glass breaking and the ominous creak of a door being forced open. John's apartment, or what's left of it, becomes a kill zone. Assassins, drawn by the bounty, storm in, transforming his sanctuary into a battlefield. The crack of gunfire, the thud of bodies, and the sharp cries of surprised attackers echo through the confined space. John, ever resourceful, uses the environment to his advantage, transforming everyday objects into deadly weapons. He moves with a frantic energy, defending not just himself, but also his dog, who, credit where it's due, stays surprisingly calm through the whole ordeal. The tactile feel of the various weapons in his hands, the rush of adrenaline, it's a desperate fight for survival, a testament to his unbreakable will. The bounty hunt intensifies, and John finds himself in a public library, seeking some quiet. But quiet isn't in his vocabulary these days. A giant of an assassin, clearly aiming for that $7 million, confronts him. What ensues is a remarkably creative and brutal fight, where John, being John, uses a thick, leather-bound book as a blunt instrument. The satisfying thud of the book connecting with various parts of the assassin's anatomy is quite something. The rustle of pages, the muted gasps of shocked patrons, and the splintering of bookshelves create an unexpected soundtrack to the carnage. It's a surprisingly effective weapon, proving that with John Wick, anything can be deadly. It also makes you wonder what kind of late fees he's racking up, destroying property like that. The subway becomes the next arena. As John navigates the crowded platforms and train cars, he's attacked from all sides. The whoosh of incoming trains, the squeal of brakes, and the frantic shouts of civilians provide a chaotic backdrop to the constant threat. John moves through the labyrinthine tunnels and packed carriages like a ghost, a blur of motion and violence. He's efficient, precise, almost surgical in his movements, using his pistols in classic gun-fu style. The crack of silenced shots and the thud of bodies collapsing against train seats are almost rhythmic. It's a relentless onslaught, a test of endurance and skill, and John, despite the mounting fatigue, continues to eliminate every threat, one precise headshot at a time. This guy clearly has excellent aim, even when the train is rocking back and forth. Amidst the subway chaos, John finally has his full-on showdown with Ares and her squad. This isn't just a gunfight, it's a knife fight, up close and personal. The sharp glint of blades, the metallic scrape of metal on metal, and the sickening thud of knives finding their mark are prominent. Ares, with her fluid, almost dance-like fighting style, is a formidable opponent, forcing John to adapt and react with split-second precision. Their combat is a brutal ballet, a beautiful yet terrifying display of martial prowess. The roar of passing trains amplifies the intensity, creating a sensory overload that makes the fight even more visceral. It's a test of wills, strength, and skill, with neither side willing to back down. John earns every single inch of ground he gains. After barely surviving the subway gauntlet, John finds a moment of respite, slumping onto a bench, his body screaming in protest. The rhythmic rumble of the trains, the distant chatter of commuters, it all fades into a dull hum as he tries to regain his composure. He's bleeding, bruised, and utterly exhausted. a stark contrast to the unstoppable force he appears to be. This quiet moment allows him to process the sheer scale of the danger he's in, the relentless nature of the hunt. The tactile feeling of his own blood, the ache in his muscles, they are constant reminders of the price of his actions. It's a rare moment of vulnerability, showing the human cost of being a legend. John tracks Santino to an extravagant art gallery, a place of supposed beauty and culture now destined to become a scene of bloodshed. Santino, hiding behind his remaining bodyguards, believes he's safe. The gallery, filled with priceless works of art, becomes a deadly playground. John moves with a ruthless efficiency, a ghost amidst the sculptures and paintings. The crack of his silenced pistol, the shattering of glass, and the dull thud of bodies hitting the marble floor echo through the high-ceilinged rooms. He uses the art installations for cover, turning a highbrow exhibition into a tactical nightmare for Santino's men. It's a visually stunning sequence, contrasting the elegance of the art with the brutal efficiency of John's violence. Imagine the insurance claims after this mess. It's enough to make any curator weep. The pursuit of Santino leads John into a dizzying, disorienting hall of mirrors. It's a fantastic visual sequence, playing with reflections and illusions, making it almost impossible to discern friend from foe or target from reflection. The metallic clang of gunfire against glass, the splintering of shattered mirrors, and the shouts of confused attackers create a chaotic symphony. John, with his unparalleled situational awareness, uses the environment to his advantage, using the reflections to track his enemies and disorient them. It's a brilliant piece of choreography, showcasing not just his combat skills but his strategic mind. The sense of confusion and danger is palpable, as every angle presents a new threat, and every shot risks hitting a reflection, or worse, a genuine target. It's like a funhouse, but with significantly more fatalities. Terrified and out of options, Santino flees to the one place he thinks John can't touch him, the Continental Hotel. He bursts into the lobby, a panicked mess, practically tripping over his expensive loafers. He begs Winston for sanctuary, invoking the sacred rules of the hotel that forbid business on its grounds. The sudden silence in the opulent lobby, broken only by Santino's frantic breathing, is deafening. Winston, ever the picture of calm, acknowledges his right to refuge, but his expression clearly conveys his disdain for Santino. It's a desperate gambit, a clear manipulation of the rules, but within the boundaries of their twisted code, it's technically allowed. For now, Santino is safe, under the watchful, judging eye of Winston. John Wick arrives, his face a mask of grim determination. He sees Santino smug and protected, thinking he's won. Winston steps in, issuing a final, dire warning. Do not conduct business on Continental grounds. The tension is unbearable, the air thick with anticipation. But John, pushed beyond his limits, makes a choice that defies every rule, every tradition. With a cold, resolute gaze, he raises his pistol and shoots Santino D'Antonio dead, right there in the Continental lobby. The crack of the shot is like a thunderclap, shattering the sacred peace of the hotel. It's a defiant, desperate act, the culmination of all his rage and loss. The gasps of the onlookers, the immediate shock on Winston's face, it all underscores the magnitude of John's transgression. He just broke the ultimate rule, and everyone knows it. Winston, his composure barely maintained, confronts John. The air is heavy with the weight of John's transgression. He pronounces judgment with a chilling finality. John Wick is excommunicado. His membership at the Continental is revoked, all services denied, and most devastatingly, a global bounty of $14 million is placed on his head, effective in 1 hour. The clang of the official announcement being made across the underworld network is instant and pervasive. Winston gives John a mere 60 minutes to flee before every assassin on the planet will be hunting him, no longer bound by the rules. It's a dramatic, almost theatrical pronouncement, sealing John's fate and launching him into a fight for survival unlike any he's ever known. The silence that follows is terrifying, broken only by the distant sounds of a city unaware of the impending bloodbath. With only an hour to prepare, John and his dog walk through a bustling New York park. The casual chatter of people, the laughter of children, the normal sounds of city life feel alien and threatening. John sees faces in the crowd, a jogger, a woman with a stroller, a street vendor, and in each face he sees a potential assassin, a future threat. The rustle of leaves, the distant sirens, every sound now feels amplified, every glance a potential judgment. He's no longer just a legend, he's a walking, breathing, $14 million target. The palpable shift in atmosphere, from relative safety to absolute paranoia, is conveyed perfectly. The clock is ticking, and John knows that once that hour is up, the world will truly unleash its fury upon him. It's a chilling realization, a man isolated against an entire world, and the metallic ping of the new bounty announcement on burner phones confirms his worst fears. As the final seconds tick down on the excommunicado, John and his faithful dog disappear into the sprawling, indifferent crowd of New York City. The sound of distant traffic, the murmur of countless voices, it all blends into a symphony of anonymity. John whispers to his dog, "We gotta go." A simple phrase, laden with the weight of an impossible future. He's now truly alone, cut off. From every resource, every safe haven, every rule that once governed his deadly existence. The world he once retired from has now turned entirely against him. It's a powerful and poignant ending, an inspirational and thoughtful reflection on an impossible situation. John's journey reminds us that sometimes fulfilling our obligations, even the darkest ones, comes at an unbearable cost. His resilience, even in the face of unimaginable odds, speaks to the strength of the human spirit. And while his path ahead is uncertain and fraught with peril, his unwavering determination to survive, to fight for whatever shred of peace remains, is truly remarkable. It makes you wonder how much more a single man can endure and what new heights of resourcefulness he'll achieve in the chapters yet to come. His story is a testament to perseverance, a dark but compelling epic of one man against the world, perpetually fighting to define his own existence.
Jonathan?
One. Confirm.